Hello everyone, welcome to the July garden tour. So the end of July is here and I just wanted to show you what the garden looks like right now. So I'm going to start here today where I have the hydrangeas or most of the hydrangeas planted, and here's a look of what we have right now. On the one side I have the Annabelle hydrangeas, and on the other side I have the Limelight hydrangeas. As I have mentioned in my previous videos, this is the second full year of this border right here, and I'm really happy with how they've grown and how beautiful they look right now. I did make a few changes every now and then here towards the end of the border. I added Ophelia switch, for instance, and then I added a few more hydrangeas that I started from seed, and this one is the pink Annabelle. The border has performed really beautifully. As you can see, it does flop a little bit because I did very little staking in this border, and the flowers, the stems have grown really tall. So it has rained and we've had many storms which have led to the blooms kind of flopping, and of course the limelights are standing straight and their stems are much firmer. Okay, so this is the hydrangea border, and on this side is where I currently have some of my dahlias and a few hostas and other things back there. This is the New England Asta, which is not yet blooming. The dahlias, I did not tag my dahlias when I removed them back in winter or in fall last season, and so I didn't know which one was going to show up this season. However, you can see that we have the Lady Darlene here. This is looking beautiful. I have 2 blooms on the Lady Darlene, and then I have a few pompon dahlias. I need to deadhead a few of them. This is either Chat Noir or Nuit d'été, and that one has performed as well. I also have a few that are not even close to blooming yet. So the ones that you see blooming currently are the ones that I took out in fall, sprouted them before planting them here in spring or late spring, and these ones are the ones that I left in that came back from last season, and you can see that there's a big difference. So now looking at the rest of the garden, here at the front is the lavender hedge that I planted also 2 seasons ago, and right now there are lots of bumblebees having a party here. So many bumblebees. So now looking at the mixed border, we've relocated now and I don't really have much time. I don't spend much time over here. So most of the plants could use some deadheading, like these roses that you see. They could use some fertilizer and so on and so forth. But the things that are blooming right now are looking just magnificent. The black-eyed Susan right here, looking gorgeous. And the Echinacea purpura, also looking magnificent. I mean, this is just beautiful. So the hibiscus tree back here, it's supposed to be blooming. It has some buds on it, but they're not blooming because there's been so much drought. However, I'm still hopeful that they're going to open up and show us the colors that they're keeping. Other interesting things in this border right now, I mean, there's so much to talk about. But here, you notice that I removed my phantom hydrangea tree that was growing here because it became just too big for this space. And I decided to put an Annabelle hydrangea. So I have this empty spot here, which I was planning to fill up with another purple fountain grass. That would have been kind of nice there, but I didn't get to do it, and so that space has remained open and empty. My anemones are coming now. They're coming up. They're going to be blooming in a couple of days or weeks time. A couple of days, I hope. And back there I have another variety of echinacea. this right here, this is the second season that I have this. I don't remember what the name is. I think it's a lobelia or something, but the color is just incredible. So the dark stem with the red blooms is just beautiful. And then I have more things that are yet to come up. Like you can see a dahlia back there. I have another dahlia here, another Ophelia switch. So this is one of the phantom hydrangeas that I left here. And I have the cosmos here that are not blooming quite yet. But more things, many things are yet to bloom. And so the garden keeps getting interesting as the season progresses. I do have a few verbena bonanceres. I don't know how to properly pronounce that word, but it's something in that direction. I have a few snapdragons. I didn't start any from seed this season, so these ones are just the ones that popped up by themselves. And I may have transplanted one or two, or just brought them to the right place. Here is another phantom hydrangea. I have this one in container because I'm planning to take it with me. It used to grow here in this very spot, but I decided to already put it in a container so that I can easily transport it. So now, and by the way, over here I've moved most of my containers already, so the things I have here now are just so we have more interest in the garden. Another snowball hydrangea, Annabelle. The sunflowers are coming up now. And here in the vegetable garden, this is one of my hibiscus trees in containers, combined with many varieties of petunias and a geranium in there as well. So over here is the vegetable garden, and I haven't been here to harvest many things. What I've done is to just make sure that I've mulched and put everything. So I missed on that cauliflower and broccoli. They're looking like they're going to go to seed, which I'm not going to do anything to stop them. Oh, I have one of the hibiscus that is already perhaps blooming. There's another little one. And over here is the, what is this again? Zucchini. The fig tree has so many fruits growing on it right now. So the fig tree is doing fantastic here. I believe that it's really loving its position here. And yeah, I did plant a few dahlias here, the ones that I received as a gift from one of my friend's moms. And I didn't know which variety they were and how tall they were going to grow. So I have them growing under that fig tree, and some of them have produced lots of blooms already, and the other ones are yet to bloom. Tomatoes here, the kale, two varieties. So also this lavender hedge has done beautifully. It's now come back. I did prune it very late in the season, but right now it's come back beautifully and it's beginning to bloom, so that is beautiful. The combination that I made of the strawberries and the corn, as you can see, I have not fertilized that corn the way I should have, and so it has not really performed that well. It is nothing to do, I don't think it has anything to do with the strawberries growing underneath it. It's to do with the fact that this is a little raised bed, and first of all, there's a lot of drought, and I haven't been fertilizing as much. So the corn is here, but it hasn't done that well. I wanted to also show you how my line lights on the roadside are doing. I mean, they're doing fantastic. The growth is beautiful. They look so solid. Of course, I haven't been watering that much, and everything in the garden is really suffering from the lack of water. And this container is all, I mean, all the petunias are dried out because this is full sun here, and the lack of water is just taking a toll on the plants. However, one beautiful container that I want to show you is, so this container over here with the petunia Bordeaux and this other variety of petunia is exploding. Look at that. That is incredible. So that one is doing great, and I have I don't know if this is the Daredevil hydrangea, which is not doing that well in that container. So yeah, it's been suffering from a lack of water and maybe also fertilizing. But the purple fountain grass in these containers, they are loving their lives, as well as the petunias. This is one of the containers that I used to have up on my balcony. It's on the way to the new place, which is why it's down here now. And if you've been following my garden, you know that this is the other side of the backyard where I have the raspberries, the blackberries, and the blueberries. So I'm going to go on the other side and show you from that angle. This is a pinky winky hydrangea that I have here in a container. This one has done beautifully, but also just like everything here, it could use more water and more care, but I'm not here to do that. But it's looking fantastic. So we're here in the backyard, and as you can see also here, things are looking quite beautiful. So let's start with this corner here where I planted the ground cover roses paired with some lavender felice, lavender angustifolia felice. Well, they could use a bit of deadheading, but they're looking beautiful. This is their second flush of blooms. You can see that some of them are full of buds still, and they're going to be opening up really soon. Look at that, beautiful. The boxwoods could use some trimming, but also beautiful. And this is probably a Bobo hydrangea. I don't quite remember, and I've lost the tag on this one, but it's a very generous hydrangea. It's produced so many blooms, and they look just fantastic. Back there is my pear tree, which I love. This year I don't see that many fruits on it, but it's looking healthy. And here, what you see here is the asparagus row. I would have loved to take this with me, the asparagus, because next season will be the time when they're due for harvesting already, and I don't know, I might take them with me. Now look at this. This is the autumn joy sedum, which is looking beautiful, healthy. The growth is perfect. So this is going to be blooming maybe from August or late in August, beginning of September, something like that. But right now I just love the way it looks already. This looks beautiful. So that would be the autumn joy sedum, and here is where I used to have some of my vegetables. Right now I have the pumpkins growing here. If you look closely, I'm not going to go in there, but I do have a few that I've produced. I struggled a little bit at the beginning with some of my squash. I don't know what was going on, but these ones are the ones that I planted really late, and they're doing just fine right now. So I'm happy that I'll be harvesting a few pumpkins at the end of the season. I have a few sunflowers that came back from last season, or they didn't come back. The seeds from those sunflowers of last season just sprouted and started growing, and I may have moved transplanted a few of the seedlings to the right places or where I wanted to have them. Some of them I just left them where they were growing, and this is what they look like right now. So really looking forward to when they start blooming. So I've already dismantled my greenhouse. I used to have a small greenhouse over here, a plastic polytunnel, and I've already taken that down. And inside of that I had a few tomatoes that I was growing in there, and a pepper and an aubergine. So all of these things have been suffering from drought because I haven't been here to water anything really. And tomatoes, they need a lot of water, especially when they are in grow bags. They basically need water every day. If not, this is what they'll be looking like. They don't look that good, but they've produced a few fruits and they're ripening right now. So I'm still hopeful that I might be able to harvest 1 or 2 good tomatoes from this season. Taking a look from the other side, here are the raspberries in containers. As you can see, I have already harvested for this season, and I have cut back the stems from last season. So now what you have here is a trimmed down version of what they used to be. They were very productive this season. We harvested many bowls. I love how they tasted and everything was good. And what I have here is the late variety, the one that produces late in the season, which is the Dorman Red. And unfortunately, the Dorman Red has really, it's drying out because I haven't been here to water it, and the fruits are not as perfect as they would normally be. So this is due to the lack of water. This is a blackberry here. Also here you see that it is not looking very healthy. The leaves are yellowing and the fruits are not looking their best. So again, an issue of water really, because I haven't been here that much. So I don't know if I'm going to be publishing another video from this garden. From now on, I'll try to share my new garden with you. If you're interested, there's a lot of work to do in the new garden, and I'm going to try to share that process with you of how I transformed that. I like how this garden has turned out right now. I've learned so much working in this garden or creating this garden, and I'm happy that I now know what to do. The new garden is definitely in another zone, but the difference is not that much. I'm probably moving into a zone 7 or zone 6. I'm not quite sure yet. And yet again, we're in Switzerland here, so the zones may not match exactly what you're used to in the US or somewhere else. So that was it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in our next video. Bye bye.